In the House of Representatives in the 9th Assembly, out of 360 members, only 18 are women, which is merely 4.61% of the total number. And in the Senate, only 8 out of 109 senators are women, which makes a meager 7.34% of the total number. The trend becomes worse as it runs down to lower levels of governance in the states and local government areas, despite the 35% affirmative action. Aside this, there is also low involvement of women in some sectors, including security, health, education, ICT development, finance, trade and investments, and so on. Therefore, tonight's program will focus on the discouragingly low involvement of women in politics, especially in the legislative arms in both federal and state levels, political campaign teams, among others, ahead of the 2023 general elections. This is Daily Politics on Trust TV. I am Hamza Idris. For tonight's program, we are joined by Mrs. Bema Madai. She was former Secretary of Agriculture in the Federal Capital Territory Administration and aspired twice for the House of Representatives to represent Numan Demsa Federal Constituency in Adamawa State. We also have Nana Kazori. She's a member of the media team for the Obi Detti campaign organization. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Interestingly, I'm the only man here. Anyway, before we commence the discussion, one of the trending stories today is that the Congress of Nigerian Universities Academics, that is CONUA, after an emergency meeting at the University of Benin, called for the immediate reopening of universities across the country. This is sequel to the registration and inauguration of the union's executive by the federal government, purportedly to weaken the existing academic staff union of universities, ASU, who have been on strike for nearly 8 months. And in the political scene, members of the Board of Trustees of People's Democratic Party could not conclude their peace meeting with the governor of Rivers State, Umwese Wike, at the government house in Port Harcourt, and have agreed to continue with the reconciliation meeting in Abuja. The meeting forms part of the party's efforts to resolve the post-presidential primary and call by the Rivers State governor for the resignation of the national chairman of the party, Iyochie Ayu. And in Abuja, Ayu, who recently returned from foreign trip, has inaugurated a committee to probe some National Working Committee members who returned the purported housing allowance running into millions of naira paid into their accounts on the grounds that it was a bribe. You have had our tidbits today. But another important one which broke while we were about going to the studio was the release of the remaining captives of the Abuja train attack. What did you feel? How did you feel when you heard of the story?
Thank you very much. I feel elated and I'm happy that the remaining people that were held in captive were released. And we thank God and we thank the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari. We thank the security officers, that is the military, Air Force, Navy, and other paramilitary for their doggedness in this fight. Yeah. We thank God for all that they've done, because without him, the girls wouldn't have been out, and the other
the men and the children.
The men and the children that were held captive. But God has delivered them. So, and thank God I'm from the APC, and being a Nigerian, and these few days, the president has been on the neck of the security agents of this country. To deliver, and we've seen it. They've done a lot.
What about you? How do you feel? Because I know there was serious exclamation in the newsroom.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a very welcome development. We can now like breathe a sigh of relief on behalf of the families that must have been really traumatized by their families being taken away in captivity. And you know, it's really welcome news. And like she rightly pointed out, we will thank the government for doing what is needful. It took a bit too long, but
here
we're thankful that everybody is, they're alive, they're well, and they can be reunited with their family.
Well, we thank God for their return. Yeah, and the two issues I mentioned.
Yes.
Konwa, a new union. Some are alleging that it was plotted by the government, even though those behind it said they have been striving to have it registered since around 2018. Will it solve the lingering problem in our tertiary institutions?
Frankly, I don't think so.
Okay.
I do not think that that is the way to go. I do not know what were the antecedents that led to them thinking that that would have been the way to go. Because if people haven't worked for 7 months, you can't now force them to go back to work. You haven't been paying them. They haven't been on your payroll.
Yeah.
So to now instruct them forcefully in a democracy. Well, let's wait and see.
Yeah.
ASU has held their own and have decided that they were going to hold their, you know, so let's wait and see. Interesting times we are in.
Yeah.
Very interesting times.
The federal government was at the industrial court, you know, could not succeed, you know, using so many methods. Now the breaking or the splitting of the ASU, do you agree with what he said, that it may not necessarily translate into something positive for the ivory towers?
For me, what is the name of the organization?
The Konwa.
The Konwa is a welcome idea.
Okay.
Because when two are in a fight and somebody now comes in to a kind of reconcile them,
yeah.
I think it's okay for me.
Okay.
It's okay because our children have been out of school for
nearly 8 months.
For too long.
And
it will not be proper for them to stay back at home. And for them to intervene, I think it's a welcome idea. Okay. For me, I look at it as a welcome idea.
But the ASU president yesterday, when we called him, he said they don't even have members. Who are the members? They are just in one corner, in one of the universities there. So, like Nana said, that let's see whether the classrooms will be open. Don't you think that ASU, let me ask Nana this one. Yeah, don't you think ASU maybe is also overstretching its luck? Because parents are really tired, that they should also give room maybe for, since government has committed once again that it will solve the problems.
But has government, they've promised.
Yeah.
And you can see the trend in Nigeria that people are tired of promises and we don't get to the end of the promise. So it's just on a piece of paper, what has been done? What are the tangible actions that government has taken towards saying, you know what, we will, on a gentleman's honor, we will redeem what is needed. Have they really satisfied the questions, the burning questions, the dissatisfaction by ASU?
Yeah.
That's the question I'm asking.
I hope ASU, Konwa, and the federal government will answer some of these questions Nana asked. Back to the politics. APC, LP. Yes. But we have a tidbit that PDP is trying to really find its wings up to now. Do you think they will really resolve their problem, Bema?
For me, as a politician and as an APC member, I think politics is about, we always agree to disagree on issues. And I think that is their own problems. And I wouldn't want to dabble into their own problems.
But as an opposition, sometimes you cash on...
As far as I'm concerned, for me, I look at it as if it's a welcome idea for me. If they like, let them continue.
All right.
That is their own. But for my, from my own point of view, I'm of the opinion that if you have issues in a political party, because we are in a democratic dispensation, I think there is a need for you to sit on a round table and then sort things out. There's no need of a kind of dragging issues, and you don't want to let go. This is democracy. And I think the problem we normally have on issues like this is when it comes to politics, there are people that always want to dominate. What they are after is to dominate.
To remain in the news.
So they want to remain in the news, and they are very autocratic in their approach. And for me, politics is about give and take, and it's more of an association. You understand? It's a group of people coming together. You understand?
And they must understand.
And they must understand themselves.
Nana, so the Board of Trustees led by former Senate President Wabara, they were at Port Harcourt Government House yesterday, but they could not convince Wiki. On coming back to Abuja, they met another trouble. The national chairman, Ayu, who just returned from, foreign trip, constituting a prop panel. Because some members, you remember last week, they asked for his head. They returned money, which he purportedly paid to them as housing allowance. Is really PDP not trying to chew more than what it can bargain for?
They should keep chewing. I'm with the Labour Party. And we have this lingo where we say ahead. So what I want is for my party to move ahead, is for my candidate and his vice president to clinch what needs to be clinched. If they cannot get their house in order, well, sayonara.
But don't you think maybe you will also have some issues in your party tomorrow?
Of course, and when we have those parties, when we get to that bridge, we'll cross it. I can't now be helping other people focus on their own kettle of fish.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Well, this is how far we can go in tidbits we have today. We will now take a quick break, and when we return, the discussion of the day commences. Stay with us.
Every patriotic Nigerian should hear this. Any politician who means well for the people will never allow themselves or their supporters to engage in any violent, destructive activities. No politician who truly wants to serve the people and develop the nation will encourage his followers to destroy properties or take human lives before, during, or after the elections. The Nigerian public must watch out for these traits and isolate any politician who encourages supporters to engage in violence. No genuine politician or patriot will cause trouble and seek to destroy the very society which they aspire to lead or develop. Politicians who have the good of the people at heart will not allow themselves or their followers to engage in violence, destruction of properties, and then taking of lives. Be vigilant. By their words you shall know them. Shun violence. Stay away from politicians who want you to do so. Let's join hands to make the 2023 elections peaceful. This message is from the National Orientation Agency, NORA.
TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back. This is Daily Politics on Trust TV. Our topic of discussion today, dismal outing of women in politics. And we have in the studio Bema Madai, former Secretary of Agriculture in the FCTA, and then Nana Kazore, a member of the campaign team of Obi Dati. Welcome once again.
Thank you.
Yes, Bema, you vied for the House of Representatives under the platform of APC, right, in Adamawa State. You couldn't make it. Why?
Thank you very much for your question. First of all, when you talk about politics, we know what politics is all about. And there are so many definitions of politics, but the one I picked and I liked is that one of Aminu Kano that says politics is household management.
Household management.
Household management.
Okay.
The late
Mala Aminu Kano.
Mala Aminu Kano. Household management. And you know, as a woman, I venture into politics because I want to contribute my own quota to the development of our country, Nigeria. And I was a banker turned politician, and I was a sole administrator in Adamawa State.
Okay.
In one of the development areas in Adamawa State. And you know, if you're a sole administrator in a development area, you're very, very close to the people at the grassroots.
Yeah.
And you will know the yearnings of the people. You will know what they are passing through. And with the resources that was given to us then, I was able to reach out to the people at the grassroots. And I did a lot of projects. I did a lot of programs.
Was that why the people encouraged you
yes,
to
that was why they encouraged me to contest election. And I contested election in 2019.
Okay. Under
Yeah.
which party?
APC.
Okay.
Yes. I defeated the incumbent.
What?
Then I got 630 votes.
During the primaries?
During the primaries, and the incumbent got 252.
That was awesome.
And I clinched the ticket. But during the general elections, the whole thing turned out to be a different thing. But I thank God that I got good number of votes.
Okay. And you were not discouraged?
I was not discouraged at all. I was not discouraged. Though there was this issue, don't vote a woman, don't do this. But you know, once you are in politics, you just have to keep some of these things aside and then move forward.
But what happened in 2022?
So the vote I got then was 28,546.
2019.
2019. And this time around, I tried again. So I came second.
In the primaries?
In the primaries.
Okay.
In the month of May this year. So I came second. And I'm so proud of my vote. And I thank God for the delegates that voted me at that time. And the reason why I insisted that I must contest again is for me to reach out to the people at the grassroots. Like I earlier said, to contribute my own quota to the development of this country, nation building. So we cannot just sit down like that and then watch people do things that are not right. And being a woman, you know what a woman is. A woman is a woman is a wife.
Yeah.
A woman is a mother.
Yeah.
A
She's
woman
everything.
is a partner.
Yes.
A woman is a teacher.
Nana, I want you to
A
come
woman,
in. Yes.
She can be an executive.
But
a
Nana,
woman is
look at it.
is a home manager.
Yes.
Exactly.
Now,
Yeah.
Nana, look at it. She tried in 2019, ruling party, APC, she was unable to get it at the main election. She persevered, right? Now tried in 2022, now ahead of 2023. She came second. But you can see she is still hopeful. But are you discouraged by the turns of events? Because this is reflective of what happens in many places, especially in the States.
Thank you very much for that question. I would like to invite you to come and join the Labour Party. And
but it's too late. She can't get tickets.
Exactly. Well, in the future, she's invited and she's welcome. I can see that with her trajectory, she's been doing well. She came second. She defeated an incumbent, and that's amazing. That means that she's very in touch with her grassroots. But back to where my party is. For women, are you aware that the tickets are free for women who want to contest with the Labour Party?
You mean they will not even participate in primaries?
Even 10. Of course you participate, but in terms
but
of...
But this is where the problem lies. She too, I think you got your form free. You only paid
was
for...
Was it free?
Yes, it was free.
Yes, you only paid for intention, right? That form of intent. So it makes no...
Well, it does. It does, because right now what is being proposed is that we will have a 40% women participation. Now, Nigeria has been hovering over the, it's supposed to be 35%.
Affirmation.
Yes, exactly. But we're barely doing 6%.
Oh God.
Nigerian women participation. So we need to do more, we need to do better in Nigeria, because 6% is, like you said in your introduction, is dismal. And women need to come out more, and that's what's happening now.
Yeah.
Women are coming out more. Women want to speak. Women want their voices heard.
Bema, you see, this problem is more prominent in bigger parties. All parties are important. We have, is it 18 that are going to participate in the presidential election? I'm not trying to demean any of them. Okay. But you realize that in major parties that really have higher chances of winning election, women rarely make a road. Why? Despite the concession of some of the forms and other things for them.
For me, the women look at it as if the women are weaker vessels.
Okay.
They look at it as if we are weaker vessels.
The women look at it that way.
No, the men. The men look at it as if we are weaker vessels. And there's this kind of, there's a way they normally oppress women when it comes to politics. And as a politician, if you really want to be a good politician, you don't have to look at the area of men being oppressing you, even though we know that women are not properly represented in Nigeria when it comes to politics.
Yeah.
And it has to do with the women too. It has to do with the women, because some people will tell you, I don't want to venture into politics. If I go into politics, they will give me names, they will say this, they will say that. And they left this thing for the men. And the men took it over. They are our husbands, they are our fathers, our uncles. We are not competing with the men, but the men should also give us our own part. The portion of the national cake too should be given to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But power is
I would like to say something.
Yes.
With the ruling party, the legislature did not even approve, for example, for women who are married to men from other states. It was overruled and thrown out. So that in itself is demoralizing. So if you're married to somebody from another state, women were just asking that after 5 years, can I become an indigene of that state?
Yeah.
Can I begin to participate politically in that state? And it was thrown out by the same APC. And
government.
By the same APC government. And so that gives you room to wonder whether or not women feel that they can be included. Another example which borders on the same thing, same women, when they marry men who are of foreign extract, the men cannot naturalize to become Nigerian. But it's not the same. So there's never been equality with these parties. And of course that would demoralize anybody if you know that you're not going to be heard. You're going to be pushed aside. You're going to be seen as the weaker vessel, like she said it. Being the weaker vessel should not be seen as a disadvantage. It doesn't mean that women should be disadvantaged. It will interest you to know that there was a study carried out, and I was some training that I went for, a business course, and it was carried out in Brazil.
Okay.
And some parts, Brazil, Africa, and some other parts of the world, where they found out that women actually have a higher spending power than men. I'm telling you, they demystified all of that. Women actually have a higher spending power because they're the ones in the rural areas that go to the market. They're the ones that do the farming. We have women fishermen. The things they from the grassroots, from the woman selling kose, she has, that's people that sell akara. She has cash with her most of the time. And so women we don't understand the power that we wield. Men give the women money, go to the market and go and do the transactions. So women are actually the ones driving many economies. So it is very heart-wrenching to find that you have governments that do not recognize the power that lies therein in that so-called weak vessel.
Bema, did money play any role in actually limiting your chances of clinching the ticket in the last trial?
Yes, money plays a very vital role in politics.
Is it that you don't have to give?
No. Sometimes you use money not just for maybe being a philanthropist, you will just be throwing out money like that. No. Even purchasing a form alone, it's something.
It's huge. You paid how much for the form?
Mine was the amount I paid was 1 million. But the men paid 10 million.
Okay.
Yes, the men paid 10 million. And I paid 1 million, which is okay for me.
And they outcast you maybe during the electioneering?
No, they didn't. They didn't. I just believe that it is not my time. When the time comes, I'll be in the House of Reps by the grace of God.
But in 2019, I'm interested in this question because Nana mentioned some factors, encumbrances maybe at the highest level, you know, political parties or the National Assembly or state assemblies, putting some, you know, rules that
just make it difficult.
Women. Yeah. What about the ripple effect? Because I remember in 2019, after you had APC, right? Then PDP at the main election now takes over Adamawa, if I am correct.
Yeah.
Do you see that as also a factor? Because you defeated an incumbent to get the ticket of the APC. But when it gets to the main election, it must be PDP candidate who defeated.
Yes.
Do you see a
And I took him to court.
Okay, what happened?
Yes, I took him to court. I challenged the entire process in the court. I went up to appeal court.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what happened at the appeal court?
My case was thrown out.
For lack of facts or what?
I don't know, but you know, I gave them everything. We got all the facts and we presented everything. My lawyers presented all the needful. But at the end of it, you know, the case was thrown out.
And maybe the ripple effect I mentioned, because maybe PDP won at the state level and then it trickled down. Don't you think that was maybe what affected her chances?
It's very plausible.
Yeah.
It is very plausible.
Okay, now
you made mention of something.
Yes.
Okay.
You talked about women that are married.
No, I'm going. Yes, I wanted to ask
about married.
No, you talked about some women that were some women that are married to other people.
Aliens, for
Yes,
instance.
yes.
Yeah.
But let me give you an instance with Adamawa State. You know Grace Bent.
Yeah.
Central Grace Bent.
Yes.
She's the husband is from Adamawa State.
Yeah.
And she is from Osun State. But we gave her votes.
Is it Osun or Edo?
No, she's from Osun State.
Okay.
And the husband is from Adamawa State.
Yeah.
From my local government.
Okay.
So we gave her votes.
She's just one woman out of how many millions of women in Nigeria?
But what I'm saying
I
is
don't
that
think it's enough of an argument.
Even if it's not enough, at least we've done that.
Yeah.
We've proved to Nigerians that we are not we don't have sentiment.
Nigerian women are asking
that
for
we are
more.
one.
Nigerian women
But
are asking for at least 40%.
You heard this maybe in fewer states that they give.
Exactly.
Yes, I reported from Adamawa, and I know how, to some extent, how liberal. Nana, you are of Labour Party. Maybe many women have gotten the ticket in your party. What are their chances?
Because the Labour Party is looking at a 40% women participation, they have very high chances. Very high chances.
Because it's one thing to get the ticket of the political party, and it's another one to defeat maybe incumbents or new entrants of other political parties that you are going to contend.
You sound as though you underestimate how far
Not at all.
we're willing to go, because you sound really skeptical. But we will not be deterred. We'll keep going.
You agree with what she said?
No, I disagree with what she said.
Why?
Because they don't have, as far as I'm concerned, Labour Party doesn't even have a structure.
They keep saying we don't have this structure
in Nigeria.
They keep saying we don't have a structure. You don't know that, but we are the structure.
What I'm saying
the
is
people are the structure. The electorate are the structure.
Let's hear from her.
Yes, they don't have a structure. You know, they are just coming up as a party.
That's the underestimation I'm talking about.
You will answer.
And I don't know whether they've produced even a governor in Nigeria. I don't know. I can't remember. But do they even have a House of Reps member?
But you see, when you look at the trajectory in other countries, I'm not trying to defend Nana. Some political parties, you know, new political parties are making inroads, not only in Africa, but around the world. You see smaller parties springing surprises. So I'm not trying to cover her. But what do you think should be done now, especially you, that you are unable to now make it? What chances do you think women in APC, the few ones, that they should do in order to make inroad during the main election?
When you talk about general election, it's not the issue of only APC. General election, everybody is involved in this country. And you know, it all depends on the candidate. All the candidates that we have, I know virtually all of them will win election.
Okay.
Yes, with what we're doing on the ground now, they will win election.
They're not aware of the turbocharged rocket that's about to hit. That's about to hit their status quo.
We are grounded. I've just put that out there.
Okay.
And we have
your structures are strong men, not institutions. No. And what we're pushing for is for us to have stronger institutions that work for Nigerians. We want a Nigeria that works for Nigerians.
So you see, I want to ask you a question here.
Please.
And instead of argument, I want you to answer. Then she will answer.
Thank you very much.
Yes, and the question is, in most election seasons, it is women who undo women. Women will now say, she cannot do it, so let's go for men. And I can see now, maybe you are also gravitating towards that in the argument. Yes, to some extent. But women are undermining the capacity of women. Why, Nana? Why?
I disagree. If you are following the trends that are happening now, we live in the now. Yes, we learn from the past, and I want to believe that women have learned from the past. We're not undoing each other. Right now, we support one another, which is very, very important to us because we are tired of being downtrodden. For example, when there is insurgency, it is women and children that are hard hit. They bear the brunt of their husbands dying, their sons being killed. Women are having to raise communities. So there's a lot of compassion right now going out amongst us to ensure that we give ourselves a little, soft landing and, a pat on the back.
Yeah.
It's dicey to say that women are the ones who unravel women. Right now, that's not how we are thinking, not in this day, not in the way we want to go, in the way we want to move Nigeria forward.
Okay, Bema, if you look at it, there are many states, especially in the north, that since 1999, they've never had a female representative in the state assembly. What are some of the factors you think are really giving room to some of these tendencies? You're from Adamawa.
I'm from Adamawa State,
yes.
And we are a peculiar state.
Okay.
We've produced senators, House of Rep, yes, and the State Assembly. That one I know. But the problem we normally have in Nigeria is we have issues, and these issues are really eating us up in this country. And if you look at it, there's this religious aspect of it,
Okay.
and the cultural aspect of it. And the two religions, like I earlier said, that women are weaker vessels, both in Christianity and Islam. So there are traditions that are really holding on women, and that is why you find it difficult for a woman to come out and contest or vie for an office. And looking at all these things, the women are supposed to come together, use their numerical strength to negotiate, because we don't have elective offices and appointive positions in government.
Yeah.
But the problem is from the women. I blame the women. I'm a woman. I know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
And I cannot face Nigerians and lie. The numerical strength we have alone can produce more than 300 House of Reps members as female. But a fellow woman finds it difficult to support her sister. She finds it difficult. And I look at it as if because I think there's this issue of
the gender thing.
Apart from the gender thing, I'm looking at enlightenment.
Okay.
If we're enlightened and we are well sensitized and we're exposed, I think we'll drop some of these things and forge ahead as women.
Yeah.
But we hardly do it. You want to contest election, I've seen it not once, not twice. A woman will tell you, no, I'm not going to vote for this person, I will not vote for this woman, I will not do that. And there are also women that are at the helm of affairs, that when they are holding positions in office, they tend not to carry women along. When I was the secretary in the FCT here,
Secretary of Agriculture.
I made it mandatory. If there's any course, either local or international, I must put a woman. I told them, I said, I'm a woman, and there's no way something will come that I will not help my fellow sister. I made it mandatory.
But you see,
I saw Kazauri in your name, and this issue of dismal performance or outing of women is visible, especially in the Northwest. Can you add something to what he said as the factors responsible for this?
Well, we understand, especially now, the insecurities that have even ravaged the Northwest. We understand how people have been displaced from the Northwest. We understand how children are out of school, for example. So how does that... And you see, that's an indictment on her political party. She has a sitting president that actually... I'm not attacking. I'm lifting up from what she has said.
Okay.
You understand? I'm not saying anything different from what she had said. We have a president that actually said women belong in the other room. So, these are the issues, unfortunately, which we hope
But you heard what the First Lady said just yesterday when she went to commission the trauma center, you know, put together by the wife of the Chief of Defense Staff, that she helped in even bringing back the president. You know, he has this post-traumatic syndrome because the center was post-traumatic syndrome because men suffer. She was 19 when she got married to him. Now the center, she said men really suffered in equal terms that women also suffer. But she was trying to encourage women to support men in order to make the society better. I think that was the...
Women have always played a supportive role. They have always been supportive. It's okay, it's good that she decided to put the word out to give more encouragement.
Yeah.
But women have always, it can never be taken away from women.
I can't remember whether we ever had a woman as a member of assembly in Kano, maybe, or maybe we have one or two. Yobe, if you go, Borno, if you go to Zamfara, if you go to Sokoto, what will you tell the men folk? Because I can see you are so passionate and you have this belief that women can do
Yes,
it.
I believe.
So
yes.
what will you tell them?
Women have always had a can-do attitude. What would I say to them? I'd say to them, give women a chance.
How?
She said, we're wives, we're teachers, we even hold executive positions. But you cannot force the men if the women themselves have not presented themselves. That's another factor.
Okay.
So if the women aren't saying, here I am, send me. Here I am, I have a talk and do attitude. Here I am, I want to serve. What do you expect the men to do? Drag them out? No. They'll take advantage of the positions and use them. It's sad that it's a 50-50 thing, the way I think about it, that, you know, men tend to take the decisions that concern women. It would be better to have women representation. It's important, especially in the way the world is developing now. It's important to have a high level of women representation.
How supportive was your family when you wanted to venture into politics? Because I remember at the height of the campaigns, we wanted to feature a certain woman in Katsina who wanted to go for the state assembly. She was forthcoming. But after second attempt to interview her, she now referred our reporters to her husband. Before you know, we never heard of that woman. Just a few months ago.
So, in my own case, I don't have any family problem.
Encumbrance, yeah.
I am not the politician, but my husband.
Oh.
My husband contested election twice. He contested for House of Assembly.
In Adamawa?
Yes, and I gave him all the support that a woman is supposed to give a man. And he saw my doggedness. And he decided to now
push you.
Encourage me. He pushed me. He said, I've seen something good in you, and I would like to encourage you to go into politics. Okay. Even the appointment I got, the first appointment, was meant for my husband, but my husband said no. He said they should give it to the wife.
Wow.
And they gave me the appointment. So I think I will forever be grateful to my husband because he gave me all the support. And now I wish all men would be like my husband.
I agree.
That has given me all the support.
Yes.
Both spiritually, financially, and morally. He gave me everything. So, and we are in the game together up till now.
Up till now?
Yes, we're together. We're in the game together. And it's not causing any problem.
Yes, causing problem, Nana, especially in Core North. You see women restricting their wives from going out to contest, having the notion that maybe the women will exceed their limits. What do you have to say on this? Because there's this suspicion that once a woman becomes politician, the husband will never control her. But here is them telling us something.
So it's good we have a living, breathing example. But I should throw that question right back at you, sir. You're a northern man. Why?
Well, I'm asking you.
Yeah, but I'm asking you. You're a northern man.
Can you
could be the one to
rescue?
ask. You'd be in a
Can you
better
come
position to tell us why is it
Yes,
that
why,
they
yes.
feel that
But
way.
please, I want you to say something. Yeah, you know, this
You
is
want
your
to
name.
put me in trouble?
No, I really want you to. Why some men? Is it that they are not politically exposed, the men, that they restrict their women to? She said her husband was.
I wouldn't say that northern men are not politically exposed. One thing that I've always prided myself in is that the North is very politically educated. Okay. They listen to the news. They are always on the pulse. Before someone else is waking up, Malam already has news at his fingertips. So it has to do with maybe cultural and religious sentiment and just the fear that things could go wrong. So it's left for us women. I would put like she said, she would blame women. I won't blame. I would just say I'll put responsibility on the women to say we can do this and we will do it right and we will bring pride and joy to our homestead.
We can do it.
What I'm saying is I'm not blaming women per se.
Okay.
But what I'm trying to say is that the women don't normally support their own.
And that is where I want to ask you a question now. Bema, look at
Did you not get support when you came out from women?
I did, but most of the support came from the men.
Okay.
It was later that the women now realized that
you can do it.
Yes, that I can do it. And that was why I went for the second time. Because they saw what happened.
Yeah.
They gave their vote to a man. He went to the National Assembly. And they were like, oh, how we wish it's Bema that is there.
I have this question. The figures are there from INEC, the new voter registration.
Yes.
Women, awesome. Young men and women, awesome. Will it make any difference in 2023? In a minute, please.
Yeah. It's going to make a difference.
Okay.
Because most of the positions, I think, are fielded by men. Men are the ones. So, like in my state, I think, okay. In
you
my
have a gubernatorial candidate.
No, in my local government, I have state House of Assembly member.
Okay.
You understand? So, the way I look at it, if the men will give an opening to the women, even though the elective aspect is not forthcoming, but the appointive positions should be given to women in 2023.
Okay.
And with my candidate, the presidential candidate, Senator Ahmed Bola Tinubu,
you are hopeful.
I know, because he's just like my husband.
Nana,
the reason why I'm saying this is because he was a senator, a governor, and he encouraged the wife
to also be in politics.
To also be in politics. And
Nana,
getting this
you are part of the campaign of the Labour Party. This thing.
Yes,
you can see APC also, unleash its women wing headed by the wife of the president. Are you giving them conditions when they make it to power, what they should do to women in order to be compensated? In a minute, please.
If you listened, or if you've been aware, just about 2 days ago, our presidential candidate came up with his 7-point agenda, of which one of it was gender parity for women. When you look at his antecedents and what he's done in the past, in his cabinet, he had he already has shown that that's what he's going to do. His chief of staff was a woman. Commissioner of Education was a woman. The Commissioner for Youth and Development was a woman.
Thank you very much, Anna. It's okay. Well, Bema, thank you very much for your informed contribution. I wish we have more time to discuss more, because I have more questions to ask you.
Thank you very much, but I want to use this medium to also thank you for inviting us.
Thank you very much.
And I'm calling upon Nigerians to vote for my president.
Anyway, Nana, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you very much. When you look at what INEC has brought out, 75% were women and young people.
And there's going to be.
Thank you very much. Okay. Well, viewers, you can see the conversation is really getting interesting, and time is not on our side. We hope. Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, viewers, I hope we have more time to discuss more on women. But is not on our side. We'll surely have another opportunity to bring more women and see the role they should play ahead of the elections. For now, we thank you for being with us and hope you join us at next time. I am Hamza Idris.